How's it going, gamers? Chongo here, and today I've got a gameplay commentary for you guys. The gameplay is of Medal of Honor Warfighter on the PC, and today's commentary topic actually relates to the gameplay, and basically I want to give my opinions and obviously points to why I think Medal of Honor failed. So anyway, let's get into it. Now, the reason I'm making this commentary is I read an article recently that basically said EA was pulling Medal of Honor out of their yearly rotation of shooters, which probably means that the earliest we'll see another Medal of Honor title, if we do, but obviously they'll have to make it so it won't really probably come out in that year, but it would be 2015. So I don't think we're going to be seeing Medal of Honor for a long time, because even then they'll have to start making it, so probably 2016, around then, before we see another Medal of Honor title. Now, what surprised me the most was why EA thought that Medal of Honor Warfighter would be such a great game. There was so many flaws and problems with it from the get-go. I don't see why they thought it was going to take off and become some big thing. There was like, one of the main problems I had with it was the bugs and the glitches. For a fully released game, it had so many problems with it that I was surprised they even launched it. The only thing I can think of is that they didn't really want to delay it, and then it would have to compete with Black Ops 2, and anything that competes with Black Ops 2 is pretty much suicide. Even though some people obviously don't like Call of Duty, it's just when you put two really good games like that close together, or two similar games, you're just going to force people to choose, and especially if people don't have the money to go and buy both games, they're obviously going to choose the better one, or the one they'll think they'll play the most, or anything like that. So obviously I think that they probably saw there was a lot of problems in Medal of Honor Warfighter, because in my review I've detailed how there was all these glitches and problems just once the full release game, not in the beta. So I thought it was kind of odd that those issues hadn't been ironed out, and they probably thought if we delay this we'll be behind Call of Duty and then no one would want to buy the game. I personally think that this should have been delayed into this year, but with Crysis 3 just pretty much around the corner, I think that's the reason why they decided that obviously that should have been put forward earlier, because if you try and put two games from the same developer at the same time, they're probably going to cut their money down. Even though Medal of Honor, it probably needed a couple extra months to actually fix up the problems it had in the game. Now, don't take this as me hating on Medal of Honor. I've played about 12 to 13 hours of it on PC, and I did enjoy it, but I do understand why all these reviews and that were bad about the game, as well as people generally disliking the game. Another thing that obviously didn't help Medal of Honor and may have led to it failing a little bit more than what it would have if this was done correctly, was that they didn't send out any review copies, and this is something that most publishers do, just so basically if you send this out, people get to see the game early and review it and upload their review. I think it's either usually a day beforehand or on the day the game is actually released. So I think IGN made a video about it saying they hadn't received it, and obviously if you don't send out a review copy, it sort of shows that you may have something to hide about the game, and obviously that was the problem that was with Medal of Honor Warfighter, and they were saying something about having a patch day one, and obviously there was so much more that they could have fixed, but they just didn't, and they realized that if they sent out review copies, the reviews would be absolutely terrible, and they probably would have got less sales than they did at the moment. Now, the really sad thing about Medal of Honor Warfighter is it actually did a couple of things really, really well, and I was actually quite surprised that these things were new and that no one else had thought of them. For example, the squad system in Medal of Honor Warfighter, it's kind of similar to something that you would see in Battlefield 3, but it's a lot better with the two people and working together in your little squad. I mean, you can do it yourself in other games, but it just sort of worked out really well, and I was surprised at how well it worked out, and especially if you're playing with a friend, this is the best system. However, the downside of this is if you're not playing with a friend, it's really hard to try and communicate and cooperate with someone who you have no idea who they are and are not talking to at that current moment. So I think they probably could have included a little bit more game modes that weren't as, you know, basically centered around the fact of this little squad of two people. However, I think that something like this will end up coming back in the next Medal of Honor game whenever that comes out, but it did do a couple of things right. It just did a lot of things the same as other games, or worse with the glitches and bugs that Medal of Honor Warfighter had present on its release. Medal of Honor Warfighter would definitely not be the worst game of 2012. I think my personal worst game of 2012 would probably be Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, and it did have a couple of problems, but the actual gameplay and that kind of thing with the game were really good. I was just surprised that they didn't put enough testing in to realize that there was that many problems with the game, that if it got postponed by a month or two, it probably would have received a lot better reviews and wouldn't have been such a bad fail for the company EA. And obviously, I'm not sure whose responsibility this would be. I'm guessing maybe it was the publisher saying that, no, we don't have a chance to delay this game, we can't delay this game. So I'm not too hard on the developer, I'm more upset that EA probably forced these guys to push out the game that obviously wasn't finished. Anyway, this brings me to the end of my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and if you've got any comments about Medal of Honor Warfighter, or whether you liked it or hated it or anything like that, put that down below. And if you want to join the Gamerhood, just subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.